This is a short video that was made by a previous student regarding the electrophoresis lab. I will be talking throughout the video so that you get the key points so that you're ready to rock and roll with this lab yourself. This is the agarose that you need to mass on a balance and put into your flask. Here is a buffer that you're going to measure into a graduated cylinder. Meanwhile, this casting tray is open on the sides, but there's walls here. So you see that there's tape being put around between the walls so that you can seal it and have 4 walls when it's all said and done. Adding the buffer that you measured in the graduated cylinder into the flask that has your agarose. This mixture needs to be heated on the hot plate so that all of the agarose powder can be dissolved completely in the buffer. Please note that when you're using a thermometer in the flask, please do not let the thermometer go down to the bottom and make contact with the hottest part at the hot plate. You're going to want to keep that thermometer bulb in the center of the flask so that we get the overall average of the temperature of the fluid that's within. You'll notice that as it heats up and gets close to 100 degrees Celsius, boiling over is a thing that we have to make sure that doesn't happen. And you're going to have to be quick with the hot hands, the hot mitts, to get it off of the hot plate onto the lab table to cool. The whole reason we need to let this mixture cool is that if you were to pour it at 100 degrees Celsius into our little casting tray with the tape on the sides, you would melt the adhesive on the tape and then everything would just ooze out the sides. So that's why we have to wait for it to cool. Now what's missing from this video is the fact that once it cools, you have to pour that flask into the casting tray that you have wrapped with tape. The comb that you see here, that this person is actually pulling out of their Jell-O, this actually has to be placed into the tray so that little indentations in the Jell-O will be formed for day 2's procedure. These are the vials of ink that we are going to be using to draw from and filling the wells. You don't see the full picture of this micropipette, but there is a button on the top that you are going to be pressing and releasing in order to get this ink. We will show you in class that there are actually 2 levels of pressing that button, that there's 2 levels, 1 level, 2 levels. The first level is what you are going to do when you go down into the ink container. Then you release. That's going to suck the ink up into the tip. Then you are going to go over to the gel, get your tip into the indentation in the gel, and you're going to press 1, 2 all the way down. Then you are going to lift the micropipette out of the gel before you let go of the button. If you let go of the button while you're still inside the Jell-O, you're just going to suck that ink back up again. It is important that we get all 8 of those wells filled with the ink samples within the first 10 minutes of class. We can do this.